You need to write down for me, Ryan, where we're live. So.
Yeah, which one's going to be the Test Miles home?
Test Miles is going to be this side, and then this is YouTube Live.
So there's no way
Seriously,
of getting the whole...
well, they've kept it a while because I see page
studio.
1 for about
Not with
4 months.
just
How
two.
did you do it last time?
It was in this corner.
Yeah, and that's why I'm going to put my phone up there for Periscope.
What about if
So,
we put it on
they
the
lost
door
Volvo,
facing down?
I don't know.
They lost Volvo. I didn't get my first Volvo.
We need to
in
make
forever.
sure that we put.
You should try it. Just put. They can all be in the same
Finally
angle,
getting
place,
the XC90.
Ryan.
But this one's going to be facing that one if it's over there, and then this one has to not be facing
So is
that
that the
one.
only Volvo?
So I have
I wouldn't
to.
worry about that very so much. I would, as long as you get everyone in.
You have to say
Really?
latest, otherwise they're gonna think that it's with the actual Harley.
Two XC60s, one
They
V6.
just write latest Harley Davidson and then latest Triumph.
Yeah, the XC60 finally got the Drive E drivetrain.
Oh.
Which is the
Because
twin
they don't
charge,
want
the one
them
that
to
gets
think that
decent
they're
mileage.
actually from Harley
As opposed to
Davidson.
the old one
So
where the mileage
they're
was
from the
idiots.
dealership.
I have the artisan right now, and I don't
We
know
were
if
going
I'm a
to
fan
talk
of
Harley Davidson
Oh, okay.
motorcycles.
Sorry,
The
then.
XC60 Artisan.
We're on, right?
Oh, okay.
No, it's news.
It's
Oh,
the
okay.
blue one that's out there.
It was
It's like,
We're going to talk
I
Harley
like
Davidson
it,
motorcycles.
but I just don't know if I'm a fan
And then
of
it says here,
That
joining us
whole
here on
iDrive,
this
like
biggest Harley
iPad
Davidson
system,
dealership,
everything
latest
is,
in Gladstone.
I find myself really
Yeah.
taking my eyes off
So
the
you
road
need to-
for a while
in
to
it-
look at it. I mean,
Ask
luckily
them
it
how
has
big
the
their flag
lane,
is.
you know,
Right here.
or
It's-
lane assist and everything.
It's a massive
And
flag.
that's his name.
So are you giving
You
one up
guys, yeah,
tomorrow?
you can make fun of me.
Tuesday,
Tuesday? Okay, that's when I get it.
Yeah, they still do the pickup, clean it up, and drop it off the same day.
I mean, it's a nice car, nice drive, but it's just, I don't know if I'm a fan of that.
Which car are you talking about?
XC90.
I love it. Seriously.
Oh, double digit.
Did you get the T8?
I have the artisan.
Double digit.
I don't think the T8 comes with it. The T8 is unbelievable. I don't think it's out yet.
T8 is gorgeous.
The silicon cycle.
It's gonna be warm here today.
Yeah, that's a big hit.
By definition means officially recognized by someone or something as possessing certain qualifications or meeting certain standards.
I tell you what,
So
it's
when it
so
comes to your car, shouldn't it be
Okay, so
certified?
where
Hi, I'm Brian
is that like
Sasha, owner of
focused over
Certified
there?
Auto
And that's
Repair.
focused over
This
there,
is-
When you
right?
trust us with your
Yes,
car
this is
or
everyone.
SUV, I guarantee our work on your car will be done right the first time. And I stand behind that with a 2-year, 24,000-mile warranty
On
all.
test miles on
We're a
Facebook.
AAA approved repair facility, and I understand when it comes to your vehicle's upkeep, maintenance, and repairs, you need a shop you can trust and be treated right. So when you need
So
us,
is there
for
any way, like,
Certified Auto
to
Repair,
putting it-
Salem's Choice.
I'm trying to get it fixed. Sean.
Online at carsalem.com. From oil
There's your
changes,
typical
tune-ups,
MSNBC
AC service, and
reporter.
repair to engine replacements. We do it all at CAR, Certified Auto Repair.
So, Ryan,
Certified Auto Repair,
Hey, I
Salem's
content
Choice,
share with
Car Repair.
MSN.
I need you to fix that so you get Sean in there.
22nd Street Southeast in
No.
Salem.
let's see if we can put it
Wait
on the
for the
hook
other
on the
one.
door or something.
Which one is that?
This is Test Miles on Facebook. I
I
think you did a good job of just putting it behind me last time.
His hair is getting weirder.
Buy it from you. Check out the Ryan Group at 29andgone.com. There's an accident on the west end of the Ross
I
Island
think
Bridge
Donald
in
Trump
Southwest
with his
Cali,
hair
backing
products
up around
alone
there
is
on the
just
Barber
great.
and Nato Parkway.
Did you see, like,
Another
there was a
accident on
video
Laughlin with Jennings
of, like,
flowing
these
around there.
the
No
Sprush
brush
traffic
prairies
come down
that
the
they're
Sunset
down in
Avenue.
Arizona that looks exactly like their hair. And it's like, look, it's Trump's wig fault.
Right.
Wrapping up the weekend with record-breaking high temperatures, will make it up to
That's
about
what he was
83
saying. He
degrees in the
supports the
Portland
environment.
metro
He's been
area
on
under
the animal on
most
his head for
sunny
years.
skies today. And we're looking at dry conditions through Tuesday. I'm KGW meteorologist Julie Chalmers. The most weather updates on FM News 101.
Loving the sunshine, warming up 70 degrees in the Rose City. I'm Jacob Dean. Check back several times each day and stay connected with FM News 101 and KXL.com.
It's Sunday morning, and every decent man and woman is listening to Test Miles with Nick Miles on FM News 101 KXL. Buckle in.
Sunday morning, time to talk cars for the next 60 minutes on your weekly automotive radio experience. I'm Nick Miles, and you're listening to America's automotive radio show, keeping you connected to the automotive world. Locally created, nationally celebrated. What's on today's show? We'll talk about the fun and exciting cars we've been driving this week. Who has the best car in the mud? John Vincent's going to be here with the 2016 winners of Mudfest. It's springtime, time to tune up your vehicle. Has it been sitting in the garage? Do you know what you need to do? Well, we'll have a list of things to check off with our local expert, Dan from Target SUV. Aaron's going to be here from Team Latest, the Harley-Davidson and Triumph dealership. And also, we're going to be talking about products. Jason, by the way, will be joining Aaron to talk about the latest in motorcycles. Ryan going to be here to talk about the latest things to keep your car clean and shiny. So one of the cars I've been driving this week, well, I was lucky enough to spend a few hours in the Rolls-Royce Dawn. This is their new super luxury four-seater. It has a silent ballet motion, which is the roof which comes up and down. 20 seconds to do that. You can do it at 31 miles an hour. 6.6-liter V12 engine, turbo, and it has direct injection, 563 horsepower. This vehicle also has an 8-speed ZF gearbox, 575 pounds-foot of torque. Yes, I drove a $400,000 car, and I think that really matters. Boats and fine pieces of art are what it competes against.
I have a question.
Yes.
If you won Powerball, are you going to buy this car? Because normally that's the first thing you lead with.
Yeah, I would tell you I would buy it depending on how much I won for Powerball. If I won $400,000, probably wouldn't spend it all on the car.
Editing the video, it looks beautiful.
It is a very beautiful vehicle. Boats and fine pieces of art is what it competes against. Bespoke is what Rolls-Royce do to it. So here's an interesting story. There is an owner of a Rolls-Royce, and they have 2-inch lambswool carpet inside the vehicles, which you take your shoes off to drive. That's part of the elegance of owning the vehicle. There is a guy who was taking his shoes off to drive the car every time he did it. He felt that his shoes didn't have a place in the car. So instead of a champagne fridge in the back, he had Rolls-Royce build a shoe holder in the back seat. So when he took his shoes off to drive the car, they'll do things like that for you. They'll make a dog bed for your back seat, which I think is fantastic. However, it's maybe a little opulent for my lifestyle. I'm more of a guy who likes to pay $9,000 for a motorcycle.
You don't think Southeast Portland?
I don't think the Southeast Portland will work for the Rolls-Royce.
Yeah.
There are some people in Southeast Portland that probably could afford it. In the Hollywood district, perhaps.
Not in your neighborhood.
No, well, I don't think so, no. It's a little out of place in my driveway, I have to tell you. 16-speaker surround sound audio with an anti-bum numbing button. Gives you seat massage. And beautiful car that does fit, I would say, 4 people perfectly well in the car. Even with the coach doors, just 2 coach doors. Starting price, $335,000. When I'm driving, $400,000. Go on, John, say it.
Not going to say it.
You don't deserve it.
Not going to say it.
All right, John Vincent is here. We're talking about an event which happens in the Northwest every single year. In early April, the Northwest Automotive Journalists get together. They have an event in a muddy field called Mudfest, funnily enough. America's best SUVs, CUVs, and trucks are put through their paces. The winner of this competition walks away with the title of Northwest Outdoor Activity Vehicle of the Year. And John Vincent is here to give us the latest. He was one of the judges at the event. You can see John's work at US News and World Reports and at usnews.com. John, tell me where this year's event was.
This year's event was at the Ridge Motorsports Park in Shelton, Washington. Fantastic facility for this event.
So it has a track, it has a go-kart track, and they specially built an off-road facility for you.
Yes, it has the big track. It has a 1/6 scale replica of the big track that they use as a go-kart track, and now as an SUV testing facility. And they built us a course for off-road.
All right. So how many cars entered this year?
27.
And in how many categories?
In 6 categories.
All right, 6 categories. So who won what category and why?
Compact utility vehicle, the Mazda CX-3. CX-3 won on the on-road day. The performance of that car on the go-kart track was amazing. Its all-wheel drive system, it was perfectly set up for the damp track. Went great.
So I understand that the Vice President of the Northwest Automotive Press Association, Mary Larry, broke the car, however.
There is a rumor to that effect, yes.
How
She
did you
says
do?
it was only cosmetic.
You know, I talked to her on the phone. She actually said that it was well damaged before she got into it. Of course, somebody else did it.
There is slow-mo video.
Of it happening?
Yes.
Oh, wait. I think I see a Test Miles Facebook post coming up. By the way, if you're on Facebook right now and you go to the Test Miles page, or you're on YouTube, on my page, or Periscope, you can watch the show live as we're streaming the show from the studio. All right, let's talk a little bit about the other categories. So what are the other categories? Who won?
Premium compact utility vehicle.
This is like the larger family-style vehicle.
This is the... Actually, no. This is premium compact. This is the
so
smaller cars, but the luxury cars.
Okay, so small luxury.
And Volvo V60 Cross Country, another great car on the on-road day, and held its own on the off-road day.
Which is really great because Volvo have been winners of this for a long time. They've won this event in the past many times, and they're back winning it again.
Yeah, it's been a few years, but they are back strong, as we'll talk about in a couple more categories.
Clearly, it wasn't the only category they won. Next category.
Family utility vehicle, the Jeep Grand Cherokee 75th Anniversary Edition.
Grand Cherokee is not a new platform.
Grand Cherokee was probably the oldest platform we had out there.
And it still knocked everybody out the park.
Its ability is still fantastic.
So what's the difference on the other ones with the 75th anniversary?
It's mostly an appearance package, but it's a really nice appearance package. Smoked wheels, trim pieces. Jeep and Chrysler in general do a fantastic job with special edition vehicles, and these Jeeps are fantastic.
And the Grand Cherokee has the mode where you can on-road.
Terrain response. You can tune it to a number of different settings, and it's like off-road cruise control.
So perfect for this kind of competition.
Yep.
I love the idea too of smoked. I mean, even when I look at motorcycles, the bling chrome I think is not what I like as maybe it's just the age bracket thing, but I think that the sort of smoked, the dark black aluminum looks much better. And I think when you do that on car wheels, it really gives them especially on something that's a little bit menacing. Like
car wheels, car headlights.
Yeah.
It works really well.
All right, so the next category.
Premium utility vehicle. These are your mainstream luxury SUVs.
Bigger luxury SUVs.
Bigger SUVs. Volvo XC60 T6 with the new Drive E drivetrain.
So the XC60, right?
XC60, I'm sorry.
Yes. That's a surprise too, because that's a fairly old vehicle.
Another fairly old vehicle, but it has a new engine. It has a twin-charged engine, both a supercharger and a turbocharger. Much better efficiency than the old model, and still very, very capable.
All right, 2 categories left. What was the next one?
Extreme capability. This is where we had a lot of fun. And
this is where you get them really muddy, and you take them places that 99.99% of people will never take a vehicle.
Absolutely. And the winner was the Jeep Wrangler 75th Anniversary Edition.
Yeah, they just kind of own that whole thing, don't they? I mean, it's Range Rover, Land Rover, and Jeep, the car companies that really own that segment. There's a lot of competition coming into that segment now. Toyota working really hard to get in there, but it's still Wrangler still is just amazing.
Range Rover entered a Range Rover Sport with a new diesel engine in the category, and honestly, it probably had more going for it that was new and interesting this year, but the Wrangler was just so much fun.
Right. Not necessarily so much fun to drive on the freeway up to Shelton, Washington, but much more fun to drive on the off-road course.
I had a Camaro to drive on the freeway, so that wasn't a problem for me.
Oh, nice. And then the final category.
Pickup trucks.
Yeah.
Ram Rebel. And the Rebel is essentially an appearance package on the Ram, but it's a very well-done appearance package.
And did the vehicle actually manage to do the course without any problems?
There was one incident before everybody got there with the rep from Chrysler.
Oh.
But
this wasn't something to do with Mary again.
No, this wasn't Mary's fault this time. But we had a lot of fun with the Rebel. We were out actually doing donuts in the middle of a lake with the Rebel.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun. I'd like to see footage of that.
I
Excellent.
love the guys from Dodge and how they just go out and have fun with their own vehicles.
From Ram, yeah.
Ram, sorry.
They do that really well. All right, so out of all of those 6 category winners, somebody had to be chosen as the king of the castle. Who was it?
Jeep Grand Cherokee 75th Anniversary.
Really? So it won the overall...
Big surprise, yes.
Really?
Yep.
And I'm sure that Jeep just walked away with a huge smile on their face.
Absolutely, they did.
All right, so the next event coming up for the Northwest Automotive Press Association?
Drive Revolution, which is our green car and technology event, which happens right in downtown Portland this July.
And at the end of July, we'll bring you all the updates of that. John, Vincent, always a major pleasure to have you on the show. When we come back, we got a lot to talk about in this show. We're going to talk about getting your car ready for spring. When should you be taking it into the shop? What should you be doing? We're also going to talk about motorcycles. We're going to talk to the team from Team Latest, and we're going to talk about Harley Davidsons and Triumphs. Gets me excited because I'm in the market for a new bike. It's all coming up on Test Miles. I'm Nick Miles.
Looking for the
Very
perfect place
well
to
done.
shop.
Yeah, I didn't know if you. I didn't know
I
if
just
you.
had to get a stab in it, Mary, because I clearly know she wasn't listening.
Yeah. I didn't know if you were going to go to overall.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just
yeah.
didn't. I didn't.
So, the Land Rover guy is like, okay, we will enter the water hazard at 6 kilometers per hour. We will slowly accelerate to 9 kilometers per hour. Push the proper bow wave out in front of you. So here's the Range Rover just creeping through the water hazard. Kappa's like, dive in, crank it over, punch it.
So you think maybe it didn't win because of the guy?
Yeah.
You got to be fun.
You got to be fun.
It wasn't Tim.
It wasn't him.
That's too bad.
Because Tim, Tim's like, let it rip.
Yeah. No.
They should have. You should always send Daphne, no matter what.
Daphne?
Daphne Green.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's been on events for. Well, she was on in Arizona.
She was here at the Portland Auto Show.
She was in yeah, she was in
Yeah, I
Arizona.
didn't see-
She was in Portland Auto Show.
But just my personal. You should always send Daphne.
You make sure you got some on the phone.
Daphne's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Daphne taught me how to drive off.
I talked to him. He's Freddy. So.
Oh,
Did you ever drive down at Hollister?
nailed it. Just make sure we have our guests on the phone for the next break.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah, the
You don't have
Mudfest
anything?
always.
I got nothing.
Sean and
He
I always
doesn't
had
have
issues
anything to
with
get the guests
Mudfest
on. He doesn't have
because
a phone number or anything.
we had to clean the cars afterwards.
Yeah, but did you give him a one sheet?
Yeah. Or I printed it. I'm still.
I don't have a.
There you go.
Just
Sorry.
pressure washer them off and throw them on a transport.
I had it
take them
printed.
back to
I don't
Vancouver and
know
finish them off.
Well, do you remember forever we kept fighting with people who wanted to do the off-road first and then the on-road?
Yeah, no.
And it was like, no, we got to do it
Wait,
the
watch
other
it
way
fall,
around.
and there it goes. Very good.
So Kappa was out
Yeah.
racing around in the road, put a dent in it.
Oh, well, that's his problem. Isn't it?
Then when there's more off-roading to get mud on where the dent was to hide the dent.
I saw the pictures of the Jeep. So, did we end up paying Ryan for video?
We ended up paying through Ryan for video. It was only $1,000. I'm not.
I know, but Ryan's the only one that's using it. That's the trouble.
Some
I'll go
other
up
people
there.
asked for it.
I'll go up there and film next year.
Yeah. I have a real hard time with members getting paid though. That's
Well,
a
we're
problem
paying
for our
Ryan.
tax.
It's like I just.
Ryan was passing it through to a guy who's not a member. I told him I didn't want to go through his company to get the invoice from his company a day before the event.
Was the video on the press release?
Yeah.
Not yet. The photos were on the press release.
Okay. All right.
I have a buddy that's not part of us that'll go up there and film.
Yeah.
And I guarantee it'll be better footage than Ryan's.
Yeah, I haven't seen the
I
footage.
mean, it frustrates me because I thought the discussion was that we weren't going to do that.
There's only so much I can do a day or two before the event.
Yeah.
Who do I need to get in here?
The
Nobody.
next guy's a phone call.
It's a phone one so you can sit and chill.
Oh, there's an ad.
Guest
for
is
Ted
ready
right
to go.
there.
1 minute.
Do you want to keep that? We don't need it.
Ed, I'm listening.
No slogans, just solutions. Isn't that a slogan?
Is that a slogan?
Up to 50% off and more.
What video is that?
Okay.
So I was telling Nick that I want to change it up next year. I want everybody to vote on day 1, and then on day 2, and we'll total the votes together. So I think too many people think of just how they done on the off-road
Yeah.
when they do their voting.
I didn't see that.
People don't use
Stand by 10
vehicles.
seconds.
Right.
Here we go.
It makes total sense.
You still here? Okay, you're still here. I turned it down.
Staying connected with the automotive world, you're listening to our car radio show, Test Miles. I'm your host, Nick Miles, and we're joined in the studio by our usual crew, Sean Walker, Brad Boyer, and Jen, our little fun fact girl. Jen, what's fun facts today?
Well, our first one, Nick, is windshield wipers are the most commonly forgotten item when tuning up your car. It is recommended that you replace them every 6 months.
All right, in a second or so, we're going to talk about how to refresh your car for the spring and what you should be paying attention to. But before that, Sean, what have you been driving this week?
I actually had car of the year this year, and I had the Honda Civic 1.8 Touring. 10th generation of the Civic. It also, like I said, won car of the year. It has a 1.5 turbocharged liter that cranks out 174 horsepower. You can also, in lesser models, you can get a 2-liter four-cylinder that's 158 horsepower. Comes in a CVT transmission. The only way, if you want a 6-speed, you have to buy the base model LX. Its competition is the Toyota Corolla, Chevy Cruze, Ford Focus, Elantra, Sentra, Jetta, Mazda 3, so a lot of competition. Some of the tech on it, there's a 7-inch touchscreen, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, lane keep assist. I mean, there's a lot of tech on this car, and there's a reason why it won car of the year. One of my favorites is the Honda Lane Watch, where if you turn the turn signal on, it gives you your complete blind spot on the right side in your navigation screen. It's driving. This had to be the best driving Civic I've ever been in. It, even with 174 horsepower, it felt to me like it had more power than the previous SI models. Some likes on it is basically you in the cup holder. There's a little feature too. You can slide it and be able to put bigger water bottles like a Smart Water in there. Oh, sorry, I thought you were going to say something. It also has rear heated seats in it. The dislike I don't like is to basically get your power cord up. It's in this little cubby under the shift column, and it's hard to get your hand under there.
What about that dang volume control? The volume control is horrible.
On the touch screen, but on the steering wheel, it's perfect. Because it's actually a little touch pad on the steering wheel, and it controls it perfectly. But on the on the navigation, it is horrible, and they need to get rid of it.
Give me a dial.
You're also how old, and everything now is touchscreen.
Not as old as Brad.
Very true on that one. Starting price on this is $18,640, and the one that I test drove was $27,335.
Awesome, thank you, Sean. Apart from regular oil changes and services, there are 3 times a year that you should give your vehicle extra love and attention before a road trip in the fall and in the spring. This is National Car Care Month. Spring is here, and that means it's time for your vehicle to get a tune-up. And we have Dan from Tigard SUV on the phone. Good morning, Dan. Thanks for joining us. Your service department, by the way, I noticed has been given 5-star reviews by your customers online, so that must make you very proud. All right, so let's talk about these tune-ups. What does a tune-up involve, and why is it important to do it this time of year? running off on a little tangent here. It was an interesting conversation we had last week with one of the listeners asked us why we don't take mechanical calls on the air and people call in and diagnose what's wrong with the vehicles. And I try to explain. I said it doesn't work like that anymore. You usually don't hear or smell or feel anything when it's going wrong. The first thing you get is some kind of diagnostic light to come on, and then you've got to put something in the diagnostic port to work it out. So really, you find out that something's wrong with your car only through some sort of gauge nowadays. So a lot of times maintaining your vehicle will save you from seeing some of those warning lights on the dash, right? I disagree with you. I don't think the light's great. I worry when that light comes on. I would say when the light comes on, trouble is afoot. Look, Dan, look, things are changing in the world. There's a lot of different now powertrain vehicles. We've got electric, we've got hybrid, we've got some plug-in electric cars coming. Hydrogen are sort of creeping into California. How is that going to change your business? And do those people who have hybrids and electric cars still need to take their cars in for the sort of regular maintenance checks? Really good. No, I think that's something we need to do. So if you're planning anything with your vehicle, there's something you should definitely get in touch. It's called Tigard SUV. It has a full website description of all their services. If you need to maintain your vehicle, you can go to them and you can schedule an appointment right from the website to find out. If you need to do something with your car, you can always give Dan a call. They are located on Charles Ferry Road in Tigard, or you can call them at 503-590-9798. They're at Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. till 5:30 p.m., or at tigarduv.com. Dan, always a pleasure to have you on the show. When we come back, we're going to talk about 2 wheels instead of 4, but it's going to be more than just half the show. That's coming up next on Test Miles. I'm Nick Miles.
I didn't realize Harley had been around that long.
Don't you remember them starting up?
You have to admit though, the USB cord.
Oh God, my hand was like.
Yeah, it's like to get it under. I mean, Jen's little hand couldn't even get.
I gave up. I finally just went to the plug-in thing that I could put into the power outlet.
Do we need another set of?
But I do like.
Headphones?
I agree because the screen on that thing is horrible. But the one on the steering wheel
is better. But
Sean,
so
can you switch a pair of headphones to you for Brad? It needs to be in dual plugs in yours, and then Jen's going to stick another headphones. I have the adapters in here.
You can leave that one there.
yeah, I'll take that.
We're getting it. Do you have an adapter?
right
You need one.
No, I have.
No, I think I got the right one, didn't I? Yep.
Do we have the right adapter for these?
You ready with your review too, Brad?
Yes.
Yeah, but you're pulling your drive-through, even that rocker on the steering wheel.
Yeah.
You can't just
We'll have you guys.
put
Right.
it on.
Well, and the one problem with it though too is I did have like you just touch it sometimes and it goes on. And like you're just turning the steering wheel and
Yeah. It's just way over the top.
Yeah.
but I still love that car. I mean, the stereo is the only bad thing.
So Ryan, see this picture here? You rotate it slightly. You go further back. You can.
The best one's on top of the TV.
Well, you've got my shoulder in there, so
We'll have you sit there.
see if you can get more.
Go ahead and check these. You can change the distance.
The volume is right down on that thing. It's too loud.
You know what? Let's find on Amazon. Find a one-angle lens iPad.
See, the best one's the one that's on the TV.
Yeah, that is. I can't get everyone.
What you should do is have one here going down.
It just needs a taller.
Where can I stand that I'm not being seen?
Outside.
As it goes.
You guys
Is it?
comfortable?
The next round.
Here.
Can you hear
Yeah.
everything? Can't hear you. No, but we're not on right now. But you can hear everything that's on the air.
This is here. try this.
You'll hear how close you need to be to the microphone when we start to talk. So you'll work it out in your head if people can't hear you.
Try this one. It's tight in here. Is that better?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Entertainment.
Jorge Glass through an interpreter.
We are re-establishing the services. Strategic infrastructure is also being monitored.
Glass says there is no risk of tsunami
detect
right
pretty
now.
much where everybody's
Magnitude
from in
7.8
England based on their
quake
accent?
Much of the provincial capital of Puerto
80%.
Rico.
Yeah.
Pope Francis
I know, I'm not asking you to be Henry Higgins, but
No, it would, yeah.
Previous news
You've got to remember, England's the size of Oregon, too. So could I detect everyone from where they are in Oregon? That's pretty tough job, but yes, I can.
Most traffic 24/7. Earlier accidents near the Ross Island Bridge and 205.
And usually the
cleared
amount of
out.
alcohol they drink,
Wide
because the
open
further
freeway
north you
speeds
get, the
from
drunker they
Vancouver to
get.
Salem and from Hillsborough to Gresham.
The
Looking
Scots
great
can
out
put down
there.
about 5 times as
And,
much as the English
speaking
can
of
in
looking
hours.
great, Portland's most
What about
weather.
the
Here's
Irish?
Keely Chalmers.
Mostly sunny skies will help warm temperatures into record-breaking territory today. We'll get up to
what was
the
that?
low to
What
mid
about the
80s
Irish,
in the
though?
valley,
Yeah,
close to if
same.
not 80 on the coast. Tomorrow is looking unusually warm as well. By midweek,
know,
we'll cool off
Ian
and get
Logie
back
Bear
down to more normal
was an
temperatures
Irishman.
in the 60s. I'm
Invented the
KGW
television.
meteorologist Keely Chalmers. The most weather updates on FM News
Really?
101.
Stay cool, friends. I'm Jacob Dean. Check
Friends.
back several times each day and
Thanks,
stay
friend.
connected with FM News
What's it been
101
watching,
and
the Masters?
KXL.com.
Hello.
Spring in the Pacific Northwest. Rainy one day, sunny the next. Rising temperatures have you reaching for your shades.
Yeah, I've got to
Sudden
go play
hail
poker
makes you
'cause
grab
I'm
that hat
golf.
again. Changing weather conditions affect your vehicle
But it's
too.
easy for low
Tires,
odds, so.
wiper blades, brakes. Make sure yours is in great
We
shape
went
with a
out
top-rated shop. Tigered
our
SUV and
last
auto repair
fund.
is the place for reliable, accurate service. Let the area's top AAA approved shop, Tigered SUV and auto repair,
It's
help you get ready for spring.
You play Trev out
Located
at all?
just off Shoals Ferry
Yeah,
Road,
we're actually going to go out there and beat some of
TigeredSUV.com.
the Twilight.
Have you
Zone.
decided
yeah,
which TV you want
well,
to buy?
No, not
It's
really.
awesome.
What about
for, like,
going to
with
video
a
only?
card.
I know
if you're
they've
there
got the
at
best
4
deals
o'clock,
on the
it's
top
like-
rated
it's when their
TVs, but
Twilight
I'm just
starts, but
looking
it's
for
only
something
like
basic and
7
simple.
cents.
Right,
Like a
with
32
cards
inch
for
TV for
unlimited purposes.
$149, or a
And
42 inch
now
TV
it's
for
like till 9
$239.
o'clock.
Yeah, I like
I
that.
know.
Oh, it's spectacular.
A
We
42 inch
again, I
TV
went out
for
once.
$349.
Yeah, that's what I have in mind. Are those prices online or at the warehouse?
No, those prices are at video only. They've
Well,
got
we
deals
went out
on
there
budget price
two weeks
TVs just
ago.
like they do on the TV
On the
line.
strip
Sony
club.
and LG
Yeah, but
models.
really?
We
This is
were,
a
no,
large
it was like
apple
us
top
and maybe
rated
6
TV.
other people.
Yeah,
Check them out. Or
Like
I'll be
40
sorry.
holes.
I don't
and
even know
was
how they
like-
stay in business.
I was just like, I'm done. I can't do. I mean, it was like we could have kept going. I'm like, I'm done. Because I was thinking if someone came up, they just hop you.
Sorry, I'm
Yeah.
just trying to play with
Shop around.
You
Just
can,
make sure
if
you
wanna
visit
watch it,
video
you're on
only,
Test
because if you don't,
Miles.
you'll be
So
sorry.
it's testmiles.com.
No, it's just on Facebook.
Salem,
Just go
and
to Test
Eugene.
Miles on Facebook.
Video only.
How would you like to make up to $20,000 a month flipping houses with no risk?
I think
Hi,
that's
my
one.
name is
Yeah,
Nick
you guys
Vertucci,
How
and
can
over
you
the last 2
legally
years,
say
my
that?
elite team of house flippers have flipped over 800 properties by using my 3-step flipping system that
wanna learn how to
guarantees quick
flip homes
profits.
with no
And this
risk.
year, we plan to double.
1 minute.
I'm growing my team in your area,
That's,
and I'm looking for
that's why you
help.
need to go
I
to
have
the,
more cash available than deals right now.
That's
So
just
I
pause
need
and find
you.
out.
All
An asterisk with
interested
the
candidates,
disclaimer.
call now and take an
Everything's got
inside
risk.
peek of
Getting
my
up in the
flipping
morning has
system.
risk.
I'll rush you out a free copy of my Fortunes and
I
Flipping
don't see it
CD
on
kit
YouTube.
that will show you how easy it is to get in, get out, and get paid immediately
Send it
flipping
home?
houses if you come join my team.
Call 1-800-240-9731 now to get your free flipping kit. Call 800-240-9731, and you'll also get free tickets to a training workshop that includes a free meal, a smartphone watch, and a USB flash drive.
Stand by 10 seconds.
Here we go.
As free gifts just for attending. Call 800-240-9731. That's 800-240-9731. Call now.
Favored us?
We'd like to thank you for being part of our radio show. Now it's time to bring you another fun fact.
Thank you, Nick. Harley Davidson was created in a small shed in 1903 by brothers Arthur and Walt Davidson and William Harley in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, but did not become incorporated until 1907.
There you go. And that's all in line because we're going to be talking about motorcycles in a moment or so. I just want to remind you that you can go to our Facebook page, Test Miles, or you can go to YouTube or Periscope right now, and you could actually see all of us, depending on which channel you're looking at on TV. It's going to break the fourth wall, and you're going to see what we really look like. Brad, what have you been driving this week?
So I got a chance to drive a vehicle. Well, let's see. I'll have to preface this with You know the guy that did the hair clubs for men, where he said, I own the company, but I'm a customer too.
Yes.
So I drove a
guy
car.
with a shaver too.
Yeah, that's right. Yes. So I got to test drive the 2016 Kia Sorento, and I am also on Monday will be a Kia owner.
Right.
So I liked it so much I bought a car, not the
Right.
company, but drove the Sorento, which is the CUV, a refresh for 2016. It comes in 15 different configurations, ranging from the L to the LX V6, and it's 5 or 7 passenger vehicles. We took it home, and Eve, we're upgrading her to a new car.
Eve is your wife, by the way.
Eve is my wife, yes, not just some random person along the street, but
I met a chick called Eve.
yeah, and she fell in love with it. I mean, she really liked that over everything.
Same way she fell in love with you.
No, she spent a lot more time vetting the car than she did me. But the Sorento really does everything nicely. But one thing I would recommend, the price range is from $24,900 up to $43,000, and the convenience package is only about $1,200 more, and that provides you with the UVO and backup camera, heated seats, and it's money well spent. And when you're going in to buy a Kia, figure out what features you need, because there's about 5 or 6 different ways you can do that. And we picked the convenient package with the backup camera and got into it great. And the dealership, good friends of ours, took care of us very nicely. And but we decided that with kids who were 7 years old, and my wife loved the styling, we moved up to the Sorento. To the Sedona.
So we went in the minivan.
We went into the Sorento thinking we'll do the SUV.
About minivans I know.
You know what? You show up at the school and in a new car like that, in a new minivan, you're very popular.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
But the Sorento itself has great interior space and all the features. I mean, it ranks at the very top for me on the midsize SUV category.
And I think it is the cheapest minivan on the market, or I say the least expensive. It's about $2,000 below its competition.
Yeah, for well under $30,000, you can get a lot of features into that vehicle.
So your wife is a very happy mom now.
On Monday, she will be.
No, she will be on Monday.
Yes.
All right, it's just taking this long.
That's right.
All right, so starting price?
The starting price
the
is
Sorrento.
$24,900.
Back to the Sorrento, right?
Yes, the Sorrento. $24,900, and for under $30,000, but you can get it fully loaded for up to $43,000.
Excellent. All right, and you're a proud owner. I liked it so much I bought the car.
Exactly.
Well, not quite. I bought a version of the car. Good job. All right, thanks, Brad. We've talked Honda motorcycles on Test Miles. This week we're going to be talking about Harley-Davidson motorcycles. Now, Harley-Davidson is, of course, the iconic American motorcycle manufacturer. The motor company produced the traditional cruiser motorcycles utilizing air-cooled V-twin engines. Joining us from the Northwest's biggest Harley-Davidson dealership, which is Team Latest in Gladstone, is Jason and Aaron. Guys, I see you every time I drive down the freeway. How big is that flag, by the way, that flies above your...
It's pretty big. It's like what?
Yeah, it's about 30 feet by 60 feet.
Yeah, it's probably bigger than my house. It looks like it's bigger than my house. You can't miss the large American flag, which is on I-205 as you drive past the Gladstone exit. You guys, now, I understand, Aaron, you rode your Sportster all the way from Florida to Oregon.
Yes, my 2008 Nightster from Sarasota, Florida, all the way here to Portland. Stopped in Joshua Tree National Park in California on the way, and had a great time.
But you got some stories.
Yeah.
Things that happened on the road. How long did that take you?
It took me 18 days. I rode about 250 miles a day, and then popped a tent up wherever I could at night. And
I'm such a motorcycle virgin. I ride for about 25 minutes, and I'm like, oh, my hand's cramping up. I need to stop for a minute or so. 18 days is a lot of riding on that. Now, Harley Davidson was a love of yours before you got to Oregon?
Yes, yeah. I think I've been riding motorcycles now for almost 10 years. Harley, I think the Nightster is probably my third or fourth Harley at this point.
So let's talk about Harley a little bit, and then we'll talk about latest. Harley Davidson. So I'll give you a great story. I have a friend, Pat Shearer, who is an engineer at a local TV station, and Pat introduces me to things that hurt my bank balance, make me feel happy, help my midlife crisis, but they hurt my bank balance. One of them was motorcycles. So he got me into motorcycles. But he rides Harleys. He has two of them, and he's always preaching Harleys to me. And I have never ridden one. I'm not really sure I understand it. What makes these bikes so amazingly attractive to people who ride motorcycles?
Well, it's funny. Harley Davidson, there's something about it that it's there's something for everyone with Harley. It's that iconic motorcycle everybody knows about. It's funny. It's almost like go-kart. A lot of people don't realize that go-kart was actually a brand. But now you see anything that's got a lawnmower motor and four wheels, and you call it a go-kart. But that was actually the name of the company, not necessarily the name of the thing. And the same thing happens with any cruiser motorcycle that you see. A lot of people will see a cruiser and then say, "Oh, that's a Harley." No, actually, that's a Honda. Oh, that's a Harley. No, actually, that's a Victory. It's because Harley Davidson has basically invented what the cruiser should be, and everybody else just wants what they've done.
See, and I like that idea, like the cruisers. I mean, I really like the Indian Scout 60. I really like the Shadow, the Honda Shadow Phantom, that sort of blacked out thing. So I kind of feel like Harleys would be something I would be really in love with if I got to spend some time on them, right? They have that beautiful sort of cruiser feeling to them. I'm not one of these guys that likes to lean forward on a motorcycle and tuck my head behind a windshield that's just about as big as my glasses. I'm a guy that likes to kind of lean back, and I like pegs for my little legs if if they will reach the pegs. So I'm that kind of guy, and I feel kind of like Harley is the motorcycle that I would want to drive or ride. So with someone like me who's fairly short, 25-inch inseam, is there a bike out there that you think I would be comfortable on that isn't too heavy? I mean, thinking that I've been in this sort of motorcycle riding mode for about a year and a half or so.
Well, if you want to talk about seat height, the Softail Slim model is Harley's lowest seat height at 23.8 inches.
Oh, it's easy to get my feet flat on the ground with that.
Yeah, I actually owned one for a time, and it was a really wonderful bike because even though it's like an 800-pound motorcycle, because you're sitting so low, you're really in the bike instead of on it, and it just makes it so that you just don't feel the weight of this bike at all. And they handle beautifully even though they sit low, and pretty much you can make any Harley Davidson fit you. They talk about the magic triangle, right, which is created from your hands to your butt to your feet, right? So if you find a model that you're absolutely in love with, we can make it fit you. We can swap the seat to get you a little bit lower. We can move the handlebars to get you the reach that you want. We can make sure that you're flat-footed on the ground.
Are they expensive?
Actually, Harley has a nice range of models. They've got 6 different families, so Touring, Softail, Dyna, Sportster, V-Ride, Street. Street is actually a really awesome new family of bikes that Harley came out with a couple years ago, 500cc and 750cc. Really awesome first motorcycle. If you want your first to be a Harley Davidson, Street 500 gets you in about 6,800 MSRP, and it's a killer bike.
I am currently riding a Rebel, which is like 250 cc's, which is way too small for me. I mean, it's fine to ride around the neighborhood and to the local New Seasons market and stuff, but you can get out on the freeway and it sounds like I'm riding a lawnmower. It gets really loud. And I also noticed something else too. I don't like windshields on motorcycles, but I rode the Scout 60 down in San Diego this week, and it had a windshield on. It makes such a difference. Like, I'm not getting it feels like someone's doing CPR on my chest when I don't have even if it's a little one and you need to crouch down a little bit. And so I thought they were kind of a weird fashion accessory, but they're really not a fashion. They're there for a reason.
Yeah, you really, you don't feel it for the first, 10, 15 minutes of riding. But if you're going for longer than that, you can start to notice that after a while, just the pressure that the wind creates on your chest can translate into your shoulders and your arms, and it can wear you out. And just reducing that pressure with a little bit of a windshield. You don't need a giant, massive one like you're going to go tour the country on it, but just something to divert a little bit of that around you. It makes the world of difference.
All right, we're going to talk a little bit about service. We're going to talk about your Triumph side of the motorcycle business too, which is not as big as the Harley, but still important because it's English. That's all when we get back on Test Miles. Still to come, more on motorcycles. Plus, we'll be finding out what Ryan's been testing this week to make your car shiny and pretty. That's coming up on Test Miles. I'm Nick Miles.
Miles on FM.
I think you should get a Harley and go to Sturgis in August.
There you go.
Stop in for
I've heard some stories about
I think
Sturgis.
you could get all segment. I mean, you could film that. do
There
all
you
kinds
go.
of good stuff.
I don't think you could film half of the Sturgis, from what I've heard.
Bob Landry Jr. keeps calling me because I went down the shop and looked at it, and he's got a Phantom down there, which is a Shadow Phantom.
It's a
which
very
is,
long motorcycle.
Yeah, I mean, the weight was low,
yeah,
and it was like I felt like I could hold the bike, you know, just doing this sort of thing. But it's a 2014, and it's got 0.1 of a mile on. And he's like, he keeps dropping the price and dropping the price.
Yeah,
and
no
now
one wants to buy it.
He's given me like, he's like, he's giving me $3,000 off of it right now, and it's just like,
yeah, but it's
damn
not
you.
it's not a brand new one, though, right? It's a couple years older.
On a Triumph.
I think so.
You think so?
Yeah, and
Bonneville.
you'd be really.
Bonneville? I was looking at the America.
16s.
I thought that was pretty.
Nice relaxed riding position. You can get a little windscreen. 1,200 cc's.
Aren't they really expensive?
And I love the V-rods. For some
no,
reason,
around
the V-rods
11,000.
It's
Well,
sexy
and the
to me.
street platform.
See, the hard thing for me is that India
it's the same.
Scout's
It's a 60-degree
Right.
like a full V-twin
I'm like,
revolution.
So
maybe what about a
just
used
smaller.
one?
I'll
Oh,
check
it's
this
a new
out.
model.
I've
Triumph
never
just
even seen them.
revamped their entire line.
cool.
So we have
You
some
guys still do the
prior
Thunder,
model
the custom?
year.
It doesn't need to be a new one. I
Yeah,
just
no,
CDs.
those were
I thought you
865
guys had like a
cc,
custom
and they're
one.
See, I'm super
$89.
honest.
It is
with you,
those
like
years
even though
and
my
years.
mind
Yeah,
tells
I think
me
they did
that
a
I
custom
should be
bike
doing
that was
this,
like
I
a
take the
Thunder
bike out
Yeah,
once
that
every 2
one.
weeks. So
Harley's factory custom is
my
like a
in my head, I'm
CVO
thinking I
program,
want to spend
custom
about
vehicle
$5
operations
grand.
program,
Right.
where they do 3 or 4
A used
models
Triumph
each
Bonneville
year
you can
that
get
are just
prior
like dripping in
to the
chrome, like
1200s. You can get
crazy
for
paint
6.
jobs.
Why don't we
How
just,
big are the
why
engines?
don't we just schedule a field trip?
865
They're like
cc.
what, ultra limited are like 45,000.
How often do
That's what I ride a
Crazy.
Scrambler.
How often do
Such a-
bike companies
such a
I need
fun
to come
bike.
down and
change their model?
Because Triumph is
I
also.
mean, do they tweak it every year
Yeah,
and then do a
Harley-
big
They were in
model?
operation
will
1 year
tweak
before
at least
Harley.
one
What's the name of the
model
one you
in
said I
each
should ride?
family.
Bonneville.
They might discontinue one after 3-4 years, bring
What
one
year?
back that hasn't been back for 3-4 years.
2015 or prior.
Or they'll, like with the Sportsters, just from 15 to 16,
There it
they
is.
redid the suspension on all the
Go back.
Sportsters, they redid the seats on all of them.
Yeah. So similar to the car companies in some capacity.
Yeah, they update everything
Refreshing.
a little bit every year, and then
And it
they
would be the
rotate a few
T100.
models in and out of existence.
Classic.
And this year they started doing S versions of 3 different models as well. So rather than not go all the way
I like
to a
it blacked
CVO,
out.
but
Yeah,
let's
they
pick
make
2 or 3
a
models
black
that are really
model.
popular. Put
Yeah.
a 110 cubic inch motor in it, and give it some styling stuff. And,
Right.
they started
Oh, you
doing
know
that
what?
in 16. It was really good.
Is Ryan supposed to be in here?
Oh, you guys do lowering shocks too, right?
Oh
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to sneak by you,
My
let Ryan
dad's
pick
gonna
this
get
spot
it.
out.
Can you see that? Yeah, that. So
Yeah.
Ask
That's-
Ryan on it when he's talking about his mids,
that's
whether
the
there's anything you
T120.
can do to keep people from using the mid and then putting it back into the bucket that has all the
Yeah,
dirty
it's not
water.
that kind of mitt.
Oh
It's a
no,
dry.
after I'm done?
Oh, dry mid. Oh, okay.
I use a pressure washer. So I have a gun that actually just sprays the water on it.
Nick, you should
Go
definitely
ahead,
come
take
test
that
ride
spot
some
over
of
there.
these Triumphs.
What? Oh.
He rode one yesterday, and he
I
was
rode the
like,
new
"Oh
Truxton
my,
R."
So are you guys
And
watching
that was
yourselves?
like,
no,
holy
no."
Quite as entertaining.
I don't know why. I just choke on video. I'm like,
Yeah. Well.
Oh, don't
yeah.
worry. Everyone does.
Everybody
I
does.
like
love
if someone
how
puts a camera in my face, I can't function.
I'm the
everyone
same
does
way.
that.
And then I got a text message and phone call this weekend. My friends are like, "Quit touching your face." Apparently, I touch my face when I'm nervous. And I'm like, "Okay, quit it."
I mean, Nick and I will do videos, and it's like you listen to these people. Oh, I'm great on video. As soon as that red light turns on,
Yeah.
oh, but I'm comfortable. Yeah.
Play at least 60 minutes a day. To get involved, go to unitedway.org/play60. Are you guys going to do that every time? Brought to you by United Way and the AdCast.
Dad, I am totally lost in my math. My teacher goes,
1 minute.
how will I ever pass this?
1 minute, Cubby.
I've always been a concerned parent, and I hated to see my daughter struggle with her math. I worried that her poor math skills would hurt her future. It wasn't that she didn't try, but she kept falling further behind. Then we got help with Math Made Easy. Concepts are simplified in a step-by-step approach, and
Can you
students
have
learn
a
at their
course
own
called
pace.
Making Money Made
Within
Easy?
weeks, my daughter's grades
I'd
improved,
take that
and she
instead of
regained
Math
her
Made Easy.
confidence. Math Made Easy has all levels,
I hate
from
math.
arithmetic and fractions
Not
to
my strong
algebra,
point.
even calculus. Best of all, it's affordable.
Does
for
my phone
everyone.
do all that for me
Listen,
now?
End the frustration. I'd like you to call now for a 30-day risk-free trial. 1-866-598-MATH.
Isn't that better?
That's
We're not making any mistakes now.
1-866-598-MATH.
Okay, so I made one mistake.
Call
That's okay.
now.
No, I'm not making any mistakes.
1-866-598-6284.
No,
Or
you
visit
never did.
mathmadeeasy.com.
Never mind.
Test miles, like NASCAR, but with one right turn. Testmiles.com.
Thanks for being part of the Automotive Nation. For more fun facts about cars, find us on Facebook, Twitter, and at our Test Miles website.
The 1977 Triumph Limited Edition Silver Jubilee T140B was made to commemorate the Queen Elizabeth's 25 years on the throne. There was only 2,400 made.
Oh, wow. Queen Elizabeth and the motorcycle just fits together like chalk and cheese. All right, this week I've been driving the brand new Mercedes-Benz GLS SUV, activated braking system, adaptive cruise control, seats 7 passengers, and is all refreshed up the front and up the back, LED headlights, hood bulges. They call them power bulges. I just like to drive something that has a power bulge. It has multiple different engines, including a 3-liter V6 diesel, which I think is fabulous, between 255 horsepower and 449 horsepower, 9-speed automatic transmission. It has this 4MATIC and Airmatic system. So 4MATIC all-wheel drive and Airmatic is their air suspension. That makes you, and we talked about numb bum syndrome. This thing really is a comfortable ride. What does it go up against? Volvo Q7, the Audi Q7, Volvo XC90, Acura's MDX, and Land Rover's LR4. Has lots of different trim levels, including the AMG version. I will tell you that the interior colors are outstanding, but the diesel starts at $67,000, and the AMG version goes up to $127,000. So you have to have a little money in the bank if you want to buy this car. However, I think it is the cream of the crop. It's probably the most exciting vehicle. It replaces the GLS from Mercedes-Benz. That was a fun drive in Colorado. We're with the guys from Latus. They're here, Jason and Aaron. Let's talk a little bit to you, Jason, about the Triumph side of the business. Triumph, of course, classic motorcycle company. But not as well known as a lot of the American brands, and they've had some years when they've been at the top of the heap, and some years where we just didn't know what happened.
Indeed. So Triumph was created in 1902, a year prior to Harley-Davidson, and they ran continuously through about 1983 when they ran into some financial hardship. They were purchased by a bloke named John Bloor, and he's continued. He kind of did like a very slow trickle of production and then went full bore into the United States.
So they're producing lots more bikes now. What does a Triumph motorcycle say? What is it? If you want to buy a Triumph, what kind of riders buy Triumph? So we know the Harley kind of rider, but what's the Triumph kind of rider?
There's a really broad range. There's different categories of Triumphs as well. We have adventure touring bikes. We have cruisers. Modern classics, which will retain that really classic style that most people would know about a Triumph. And there's also roadsters and super sports. We were actually the race team, national race team for Triumph for 4 years.
And speaking of the race team, we actually wanted to congratulate our latest motors team for getting 2 first-place finishes in the season opener.
Yeah. I noticed that about the dealership. You guys just do a lot more than sell bikes. I mean, you have events, you have things going on almost every weekend. Jen was even telling me that on Mother's Day you're doing tattoos or something.
Yeah, we've got a tattoo truck. If you want to come get a I Love My Mom tattoo, we'll be there for that.
That's awesome.
And I will pay for anybody's Test Miles tattoos as long as it covers your whole body.
Okay.
Oh, your whole body? That's going to be expensive, Nick.
There you go. So you do a lot for the motorcycle community, and including, as well as selling bikes, you have all these events, but now servicing your Harleys and your Triumphs too, you can bring them down, you guys take care of them as well.
Yes.
And a big service department, accessory department.
Oh yeah, and not only can they help you, fix your bike, but they can also teach you what you can do for yourself. We actually have a roadside repair seminar that we're going to be doing at the dealership Saturday on the 30th to just kind of help you understand what you should bring with you and what you should know when you're on the road and you find yourself in a situation where maybe you instead of waiting for a passerby with a wrench, you can take care of the situation yourself and get back on the road.
Excellent. Now, the last question for you before we get to Ryan and what he tested this week. So you guys, were you talking amongst yourselves with that 25-inch inseam that I have, and Jason, you came up with the idea that there was a Triumph that you felt that met my needs.
Oh, absolutely. The Bonneville.
I mean, a very classic bike, right, Bonneville, been around for a long time, and you think that would fit me very well?
Indeed.
And it looks like it has the long seat that goes all the way from the tank all the way to the back. So.
Yes, they call it an ironing board seat, but it's more comfortable than an ironing board.
My backside will be nice and pressed. Ryan, what have you been testing this week?
Well, I've been testing out Griot's Garage Fine Surface Prep Mitt, and I love it. It's actually about the best new clay bar mitt that I've seen on the market so far.
So what's it used for?
It's a clay bar, so instead of using an actual bar of clay, it's a clay mitt. So it's going to take all the contaminants off your car, any kind of dirt inside of the scratches and stuff like that before you put your compound and wax on there. It's going to help get all that dirt off.
And you can get them from Griot's. How much are they?
They're $49.99 on griotsgarage.com.
And you can use them multiple times, though, right?
Yeah, multiple times. It says on the packaging you can use it up to 70 times.
Thanks to Aaron and Jason from Team Laters. You can find them. Just head down 205. You won't miss that giant American flag. And, of course, they're at the Gladstone exit. Thanks, guys, for coming in. I'm going to make a date. We'll come down. We'll play motorcycles for a day with you guys. I want to also thank the rest of the team, John Vincent for being here, Brad, and also Dan from Tiger SUV. So anytime anyone come in and ride some bikes,
come and see us.
I can't wait. You've got loads of events too. I might be taking part in that tattoo event too, if everybody else will join me.
Oh gosh.
We're online 24/7 at testmiles.com. Love you guys. We'll be back next week. I'm Nick Miles.
Here's what's happening at FM News 101.
Excellent.
Good show.
You feel good about it?
Yeah.
It was really good. Yeah, I'd love to come down and ride some bikes with you. I just need to. April was. Well, actually, March was a really tough month. I was only home for 5 days, so April will lighten up a little bit now. Sean and I have got like 2 big TV projects to get through, and then because I do Coins automotive stuff as well, and a bunch of other TV stations and Fox Sports around the country. So we're always like super busy getting stuff done. But,
Yeah, come ride with us.
Yeah, you got some bikes I'd love to test out and stuff like that as well. So be fun. You do accessories and helmets and stuff too, right?
Everything.
I really need to buy a helmet.
That's where I got my helmet from. Was through
From them.
Latest. Yeah.
You know what I really do want to do is I don't the full face helmets. I know they're safer, but I kind of like them.
So I'll show you a picture, and it'll convince you to wear a full face helmet. It's not gory, but that's a Harley Davidson helmet.
Right.
And
I'm using Sean's Harley helmet right now.
So one of my good friends, he's my next door neighbor. He went off the road. He just lost his train of thought, and it was a decreasing radius. And he went off into a river, rocky bed,
Their studio's
and
not
he
too
hit
far from you guys.
face first, and he cracked his
Christian
full face
King is
helmet
one of the
at
stars
the
on
jaw.
that. I
So if he hadn't been wearing that,
he was on leverage for
he would,
the
his
7
face would have exploded.
but he's a big motorcycle guy.
I've had
So I wanted him to give him your contact just to come in if he wants to
in the United States.
check something out.
Yeah.
He's looking.
One of the
He's
one
a
of the most major
big motorcycle
things that
guy.
they always show us
So
in
it'd be pretty
school
cool. But then
was
also
there's a famous
Chad,
F1
in
accident,
case maybe they
which,
have
you know, they have to wear
they
helmets.
need a
They
motorcycle
was
for
they
the
wear
show.
the chin strap. There's a
About
guy
renting
walks in
something
front of a car by accident.
might
The car
work
puts
to,
his back leg
you know, where
and
it's
pushes his
a
face,
character.
pulls him down onto the road.
So,
and
but
just
they
like
pay
his
for it.
headache.
So
So
it's good.
I've
Yeah.
seen some Harley things.
And then
My cousin
hey,
got on one.
Nick?
I got on one.
I'm gonna give one to Mel. He wanted to send him an MP3 of the show.
Yeah.
So
Did you guys get to talk to Milt?
Yeah, I introduced him.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is what that could become. Like it's a blank slate.
pretty.
Oh, isn't that cool?
Yeah, that's like the $9, $10, $11, $15,000 version.
At that point, I mean, there's nothing stock left
Do we get all
aside from the tank.
The one